Freshly Grounded is back. And it's bad. It's not bad. I don't know why I always say that. We're back, guys. Alhamdulillah. I mean, we're a bit echoey. We still have things to sort out, soundproofing being one of them. But I couldn't contain myself anymore. I hated taking a break. For 5 years, we have basically released an episode of Freshly Grounded every single Friday. And then we did how long has it been? Maybe 6 weeks? I don't even know. And it's been horrible. I'm not doing it again, inshallah. So we're back, guys, and we have so much to update you on. Actually, no, not really. I suppose there's loads of questions, though, how's life been and stuff like that, because you guys care about me, right? But this is not the episode for that. I think we'll do a proper update when I do an episode with Sam, which I believe is going to be next week. Don't hold me to that, but I believe so, inshallah. It's going to be next week. And just before I intro today's episode, I want to let you guys know that we've started something because I just couldn't not podcast. So we started something called the Inner Circle, Freshly Grounded's Inner Circle. And you'll be seeing some clips of the Inner Circle on this YouTube channel too, as the years go on, hopefully. But the Inner Circle is basically an extra episode every single week for our Inner Circle. And if you want to sign up to that, you can go to freshlygrounded.com/inner circle. It's a really fun, chilled out episode with the boys. At the bare minimum, it's me and Kaya, who you guys will be familiar with now. And at the opposite of the bare minimum, so at the maximum, at the bare maximum, it's whoever he basically wants to come and chill and have a chat and eat food and have a coffee, and it's lovely. It's really fun. It's really chilled out. It's back to that kind of community vibe that we love about Freshly Grounded, and it's really fun. So join the Inner Circle at freshlygrounded.com/inner circle. As you can see, we're in a new set. I've tried to bring all of the elements of the London set here. So the same table. This isn't the exact same table. We bought the same table again, and then I brought over with me. Hopefully elements of London behind me, like the underground sign, the UK number plate, and things like that, just to make you feel like home for us and for you guys. There's a whole load of familiarity, but then obviously there's some changes, like the wall, the neon sign, which I've been trying to get for years. True fans of Freshly Grounded will know that I've been trying to get this for years, but they're not cheap. So yeah, I mean, you can't see all of the shelving, I don't think. Oh no, you can on this shot. But we've got a few bunch of other things. And the studio still needs to be built. We've still, as in continue being built, we still got to get soundproofing and the signed football shirts and stuff like that. So there's lots to be done. But without any further ado, this is, oh my gosh, I don't even know what episode number it is, which I always don't know. But this is especially bad because it's the first episode back. This is episode, we're close to 300. I'm going to have to check. Okay, this is episode 278 of Freshly Grounded. Enjoy. And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast.
Well, it's not exactly brand new anymore, is it?
Welcome to Freshly Grounded, the podcast.
That's better.
Created by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
Welcome to Freshly Grounded.
After that bit.
Created by
After that bit.
best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay, welcome.
Welcome.
Freshly Grounded F.G is back. And we've got a couple lads in the building.
4 lads.
4 lads. We've got, obviously, Mr. F.C. Big face. That's me.
That is you, isn't it?
Yeah. And we've got Kaya.
Yeah. I ain't really got a nickname though,
No,
do
it's
I?
just Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaya.
Kind of want one, to be honest.
Okay, fine. Let's make my own spot.
Yeah. What you got? Come on.
Mr.
K-Dog? No?
No.
All right.
K-Dog. Watching too many gangster movies.
Yeah.
Big K?
No.
Bro, by the end of this episode, we should have a nickname.
Yeah, we'll find you a nickname.
Yeah.
But it can't be something that you love.
Right.
It has to be a bit-
You're big
face,
face.
yeah.
So you do like that. You love that, don't you?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want something.
Changed
I want something slightly, complimentary.
Okay, fine.
know?
Yeah, big face, fine.
Yeah.
Sam's just big man Sam, 6'6".
See, big man. Yeah, mashallah.
That's just a description of Sam.
Yeah, that really is
Yeah,
just,
just description.
just who he is.
If you was like, sometimes like we will send him a car to like come to the studio,
Yeah.
and like the Uber driver will call me, and be like, "Oh, where's Guy?" I'm like, I could literally say Big Man Sam 6 and they'll know exactly who it is. Yeah, that's a clear description of him.
Whereas me, which would be like, yeah, average Turkish man.
Yeah, it has to be kind of a description because Big Daddy Face. I have this aura.
You've got a big man
I have an aura of
yes.
like, oh, father figure instantly. So I get that.
When I first met you, I was extremely intimidated.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a towering figure,
That's right.
but purely from like a higher plane. Yeah. So that's I immediately knew. Oh, that's what I call it.
So we'll find you
big
something that's like
face.
that.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine.
We've got obviously
You could be Big Mommy Kaya.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think now we're getting into a different realm. We've got Cairo in the building. Cairo Rahman, as he calls himself.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, because his name's Rahman. Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
But he goes, "I'm Cairo Rahman."
Right.
You do that. You just.
That's
say
because
it.
I worked around a lot of people that couldn't pronounce
Rahman.
Yeah, even I couldn't
Right.
pronounce
But
it.
now you just say ramen, like the noodles.
yeah.
I think now
Ramen like the noodles.
transition back into
Rahman.
Yeah, let's get back.
Yeah,
Let's put it
I
back.
think in this
Let's put it
country I
back.
could definitely do that.
Defo. And then we've got Kerem still here. From that sounds like I'm like annoyed.
Still here, is he?
Didn't get the message.
Yeah.
No, Kerem is here. Absolutely, it's been absolutely lovely to have his company over the last couple of weeks. And Kerem is obviously Kaya's little brother.
He is,
Yeah.
but not so little. He's also a bit of a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And he swims regularly.
He's a swimming man.
Is
He's a
it?
daily swimmer.
Swimmer.
You swim daily.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He's been swimming daily. As have I, by the way.
Oh.
A few laps, yeah. A few lengths, isn't it? Yeah. Let's not oversell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Few.
So that's
few
who's in the
lengths.
room, and Kaya is. You guys will be familiar with Kaya if you're part of the inner circle, and you'll be familiar with Kaya actually if you're part of the inner circle as well. Now we did do an intro. I did do an intro for this podcast.
Right.
It's actually already been done, and I'm probably not going to redo it if it doesn't need to be redone. But I didn't know that this was going to be the first episode.
Right.
So we should probably explain the new format
Right.
of Freshly Grounded.
So did you do an intro for the one that was going to originally be the first?
That's
episode?
correct. But the reason I'm not going to redo the intro is because I like that intro.
Okay.
And I had to like change the setup and stuff. And
Fine.
almost all of it still applies, apart from the end where I'm like, this episode is with.
Maybe just cut that.
I can
bit.
just cut that bit out.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do instead is we can explain it now. So
Yep.
okay, let me try and have a go at it.
Let's both try to explain what's happening because
Yeah.
we've been
We're bad at explaining
brainstorming
things.
this over the last like 16 hours or so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with a lot of lack of sleep.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the situation, guys. We took a break from Freshly Grounded, and the concept, one of the reasons, among many, and obviously now we know one of the reasons, obviously, that I was doing a move as well, but one of the reasons was I felt burnt out from what Freshly Grounded was, and initially I loved it. It was like the vibe of me and Sam, like a couple of brothers having a chat, I loved that vibe. Then, as things slowly progressed, it became more guest-based, which initially I loved, and I still don't hate that we did that because, bro, that caused like a big growth for Freshly Grounded.
Yeah.
Because when you have a certain guest, they bring their following. But then what started happening is it kind of stayed as like interviews, and then it was like sometimes you'd have episodes where it's like I wouldn't actually put that episode out normally, but I'm putting it out because like we needed a guest. Essentially, when you're looking for a guest every single week, there's going to be some guests that just don't align with FG, but you're putting it out because like we need a guest every week.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I started feeling like Freshly Grounded started becoming a bit of a chore sometimes because there was episodes where I felt like it was an interview and it wasn't FG.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, we need to take it back, but let me just put it on pause and figure it out. And in that figuring out process, while we were doing it, we started doing it in a circle. And I knew during that break period that you were going to be a part of Freshly Grounded in some capacity because I think for a while we've been looking for that to create that vibe again. And so then simultaneously, when we went in London, being completely transparent, Sam also, alhamdulillah, is like back on with FG. He's back on the
Alhamdulillah.
wagon. And he's like, so that was like, that's like the dream as well. So now we're in this great situation where we've got Kaya who like that vibe exists with. We've got Sam who that vibe exists with. We've got Cairo who comes in when he's available and that vibe exists with. And then what happened is then like we were just going to use that for like inner circle and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That vibe. And then we started shooting episodes with guests, and we realised that we're starting to take away from the vibe of FG again. And that was the whole reason we put it on pause, because we didn't want it to be interviews again. So ultimately, this is how we're doing things moving forward. We're going to have less of the guest episodes. We're still going to have guests every now and again, but when it's like guests that we think, all right, this is like what we want. But generally speaking, it's going to be familiar faces, Faisal, Kaya, Cairo, Sam. The Sam episodes are obviously going to be virtual. The idea is that the Sam episodes are going to be twice a week, which means that these episodes will be twice a week. And it's always going to be a vibe of like brothers chatting, catching up, talking about stuff like related to Dean, life, light-hearted, but something that everyone can relate to. They feel like they're part of the discussion, and it's just relaxed, chilled out. And if you've seen it in a circle episode, you already know the vibe, and it's just cool.
Yeah, man. I think you did a good job explaining that, actually. For me, I've spent years just being an FG fan. Yeah, so I've been watching FG from afar on YouTube since like, 2016, I think? Maybe even around, when you started, 2016, 2017?
2017, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I started watching like 30 episodes in maybe, and I just like went back and watched those, and I've stayed a fan alhamdulillah since then. So I knew all about that vibe of Sam. That was what made me fall in love with FG originally, that vibe of Sam. And I still love it. Like those episodes you did in London recently with him, like that was like, wow, FG is back. This is exactly what I've been like craving, kind of thing. The guest thing obviously happened because that was the best thing for FG at the time, I felt. And I think, you know, it had a lot of benefits, as you said. Like a lot of people come into the fray, bringing their audience. It's good for growth. But I think, as you've me discussed recently and seen as well, when there's that pressure just to get guests in on a weekly basis because, that's our chosen format, that's not the strategy that's best for FG in terms of bringing out the best of you, Faisal, and Sam as well when he's available. Like, that's not what people fell in love with, I don't think. It takes away from that natural, organic chat, having a laugh. Because when you've got someone new in a room, you want to get to know them. Yeah. It's a different vibe. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that vibe. But is that the original FG vibe that everyone loved? It isn't. So I think what you said is important. Like, we're not saying no to guests, but the default would be not guests. And when we think, okay, the guest can really add something.
And in that way, we're guaranteeing that every time there's a guest, the guest is fire.
Yeah.
Cairo, is this camera in focus? Because we shot an episode recently where the entire time it wasn't in focus because we had like something on the screen. Yeah. Maybe sometimes I just like, if I pull my face in, like it finds my face. Yeah.
Sorry, just make sure it's focused exactly on the face. Yeah.
Get quiet. Is my face in focus? Yeah. That's my face very there. Yeah. So you're right. And so guys, this is FG, man. Like, and I'm confident that that this will be what the true Fresh Uganda audience, the kind of content that they love and they into. And like you said, or like we said, when a guest does come, that means that like we really think this guest will like resonate with the audience.
And it will take the look. I've now seen, alhamdulillah, it feels like yours and my relationship has like gone like from literally 0 to mashallah 100. Yeah, and I've gone from being an FG fan over the last like 3 months
to being an FG family,
to being, alhamdulillah, like you invited me into the family. I think
that was a good one.
Yeah, that was nice. But my point is, I've seen how it operates out behind.
Right.
And I always knew this as a fan. The success of an FG episode is how relaxed you are, and how much you're enjoying it, the banter you're having, the little comments you make. Like that's, and also when Sam's on it as well, that vibe you have with him. When there's a pressure to have the guests on every week, you're stressed to get them in, and then you're like, okay, I've got to now do it with that, try and get that vibe in there.
Yeah, and I think you got to also break down the guest before you can be relaxed with the guest.
Exactly,
as well.
And that takes an hour to do that.
Yeah, sometimes you never get around to it. You can't get it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, how much Faisal are we getting out of this episode? Not much really, because it's like it's a new person in the room that has to be broken down, and yeah, it's just not that vibe you're going to get with someone you've been having conversations with, like Sam, for example, who you've like been speaking to for years.
I think that the biggest con of us going in this direction is that selfishly having a guest is great for growth because it gets you those viral kind of clips. But I think that we need to double down on what we believe in and not just what we think will get views. Because long term, what you believe in, what you're passionate about, gets you to success, not the quick wins. Yeah. And like I said, it served its purpose. Like it was great having guests every week, but there's something comfortable about the four of us in this room. We're just having a natter, and Kerem's on his phone.
Yeah. 3 of us in this room.
Yeah, 3 of us in his room. One guy's thinking, can't wait to get back to Enfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, and what's also really nice is that like the vibe of Freshly Grounded is still, a huge element of Freshly Grounded. I think is London, because we were born and brought up in and around London, Sam and I, and we have probably the strongest part of our culture there's 2 strong parts of our culture: Islam and the London culture.
Yeah.
And whether that's a pro or con, I don't know, because sometimes people will be like, you guys are so London centric. Sometimes you talk about, like, remember on like Kemp Road, like this type of, and it's like people who are listening from Canada are like, we don't know, but it wasn't just natural.
Yes.
And so I think the London culture is a huge part of Freshly Grounded, but then obviously like the Islamic culture is like the biggest part. And the fact that we're out here in the desert, yet like all of us here are from London still, different parts, west, north, east, we still got that vibe, obviously also with like the London kind of like number plates,
mind the gap,
the mind the gap thing, and so I like that we've been able to be here and still keep core elements of our culture, because that is both like our biggest audiences in London. Why? Because we want to just first of all be someone who relates to people, our community basically, and both provide an identity for people who didn't feel like they had an identity. And we're speaking yesterday about how we don't feel like we, as much as, remember what we said yesterday, like you said, like even though you're Turkish Cypriot and you're by blood you're Turkish, but then by culture you're like British, but then the Brits mostly will for British people you're like the Turkish British, for Turkish people you're like the British kid, so it's like you don't belong anywhere almost. And I think like our whole generation has this like not personality disorder.
Yeah, like identity crisis.
Yeah, what is personality disorder?
Our whole generation is a huge mental illness.
Yeah, exactly. And the cure is Freshly Grounded. So we have this identity crisis. Yeah. And so I thought, why not dream big and fix an entire identity crisis for Freshly Grounded? Yeah. So that's what we're at, guys. That's what we're doing. Yeah. If you haven't been watching Inner Circle, I honestly urge you. So we're going to carry on Inner Circle.
Of course.
So basically what Inner Circle is going to be, every single week, an extra episode of Freshly Grounded. Essentially, we're going to carry on the podcast for about another half an hour after we go off air, and that episode is going to go on Inner Circle.
Yep. Bonus content. Yeah. What more could you want? And maybe there may even be a little coffee in there, a little donut maybe.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go downstairs quickly now, so you guys are going to have to carry on the convo without me.
I was getting impatient for that coffee.
Yeah, I'm going to go make coffee because Kerem said that was his best coffee, isn't that right,
I genuinely think the only reason Kerem is here.
Best coffee I've had in Dubai.
Are you on? Is his mic on?
Yeah, his mic's on,
There you go.
It is good, isn't it? And it's dairy free. It's like that coffee.
It's dairy free.
It's dairy free.
Did you make it, or is it the machine?
Now, Cairo, I think that's a very rude question to ask, because how the coffee specifically is made is, I think it's about the presentation.
Exactly.
Of the coffee. It was presented in a glass.
Got you.
It's the love that goes into it.
It's the love that goes into it.
Got you.
Because I think the way you push that button on the machine, it says a lot, man.
Yeah.
It does say a lot.
You got to bear in mind that I decided to make it dairy free.
You did.
I didn't put milk in it.
Yep. You could have put anything in there.
I could have.
You could have just put water in it.
I could have put goat's milk in it.
Yeah. Have you had goat's milk?
No.
It's actually not bad.
I had goat's cheese.
Do you like goat's cheese?
It is nice.
Yeah, goat's milk is different.
Do you like goat's cheese?
I do like it, yeah.
Yeah, because you're lactose intolerant, so...
Well,
I feel your pain.
I put that on hold sometimes. Sometimes, look, I treat myself to a cheesy meal once a day, maybe.
You had that today already.
I did.
Morning.
Once a day.
Yeah, I can handle.
That's not even special. It's like once a day at lunchtime.
A cheat meal once every day.
Yeah. So it's like once a month.
So a third of your meals have cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can handle that. After that, any more than that, I start to feel a bit sick.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
But the smell of cheese makes me feel sick now.
Really?
Yeah. If I order food and it's got that smell of cheese, bro, I feel sick.
You were sat next to me yesterday in Kaya while I had a cheese croissant.
I didn't smell it.
Yeah, fair.
Luckily.
It was all in my beard.
I need to next time. I need to try it. What did you have today, Kerem? The salad.
What was it? Crab salad.
Crab salad.
You seem to like that salad.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
You literally just wolfed that down.
What's that, crab?
Yeah, crab salad, yeah.
Yeah, like crab strips in salad.
No way.
Yeah. That's usually what a crab salad is.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But sometimes, they name things that's not even
it's
like...
a crab salad, it's just like it's a burger in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, where's that coffee at?
Yeah, I'm going to go get the coffee.
Yeah.
So, you guys going to be all right without Papa Faze here?
I genuinely don't think we'll even... I don't think anybody will even realise you're gone.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you don't even be silent, radio silence. Yeah. Who wants coffee? Do you want coffee?
I love that, man.
Kerem?
Please, yeah.
Cairo, no, I'm not even making you one because you waste my coffee.
But one sugar, yeah, one sugar.
One sugar, no
None
sugar.
for me, yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have one.
Really?
Well, we just had one.
You usually go for
I
2
need,
later.
I need it after a meal. Like I need to get the carb crash so I can have a coffee.
Fine.
So I'll make you guys a coffee,
Fine.
and then we'll order something now for
Yeah.
in a circle.
Come back. We'll look at what do you fancy.
What I'm gonna do, yeah, I'll figure it out.
I'll ask these guys what
You
they
ain't had
fancy.
Pepe's, have you yet?
I haven't had Pepe's yet here.
Oh,
Let's do Pepe's.
that could be a shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We just had breakfast.
But I shared it, didn't I?
Hardly.
Come on,
Did
man.
I even eat one spoon?
Yeah, I shared quite a bit.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Zachary didn't have any.
Didn't he?
So I'd let everyone know that we just went out for breakfast with the kids.
Yeah.
Cairo didn't make it. Cairo didn't make the
Yeah,
list.
Cara wasn't there. That was awkward.
It was awkward. But
It's because you thought he was sleeping. That's why.
I genuinely thought I'm not going to stop Cairo. With you, I didn't mind.
Yeah,
Because,
I don't know why that was the case.
because I thought, oh, like
You seem to not mind
waking
waking me up at all.
Well, yeah.
In fact, I'll
you
go,
woke up to
I'll
Prince
go as far as saying you enjoyed the process of waking me up
That's
when you
correct,
knew
yeah.
I was going to have enough sleep.
The thing is, I thought because you have a daughter, you're not going to get much sleep anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas Cairo can get a peaceful night's sleep.
You can't he?
Yeah.
What's that like, man?
Bro, it's amazing right now.
Is it?
Well, like I said,
Let me just interrupt you. Sorry. Where's that coffee at?
Ah.
Because seriously,
You guys enjoy
yeah.
your thing.
Can you go and make that coffee? Because I'm getting a bit.
I'm going to come with 2 coffees, 2 beautiful coffees.
I'm getting a bit
I've got
impatient.
pressure now because Kerem said it's his best coffee in Dubai.
Yeah.
I have to make it the same again.
Just do it exactly how you always done it, man.
I don't know, now
With
it's been pressure.
With love and care.
I don't know.
Don't let me down, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Cara, man.
He's gonna press that button with so much love right now.
Yeah. That's very slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what are you saying, man?
What was I saying? Bro, yeah, that day when Faisal was trying to take his kids out of your house,
Oh yeah.
bro, he was like daddy
That was
daycare. Like, he had one over here, one on his back.
That's how it
And
is,
bro, he
man.
was like, he came back, like he put the kids in the car. He came back and goes, "Sorry, Carol, but I know like this ain't what it's like to have kids."
Yeah, yeah.
And then he left, and
Bro.
I was like, "Yo, like you're not selling it to me," because he keeps telling me, he's like, "Bro, like obviously kids, I know kids give you blessings and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's also scary when you haven't had your first child." Because you know, once you have your first child, it's like, okay, I've been through it once.
Yeah.
Second child, but you know, when it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I hear it could change things.
Of course, but bro. Of course, it will change things. There's no doubt it will change things. But I don't think you'll find anybody who would go through the experience of having a child
Yeah, yeah.
and say, "Oh, I wish I didn't have it."
No, of course
Allah
not.
forbid.
And I
Do
think
you know
I'll
what I
be
mean?
the same, man.
So of course it will change your life, no doubt. And there will be some things that you miss from your life before, like just having the freedom to lie in, for example.
Yeah.
But you would never ever even dream of going back to it. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the thing, like, because I haven't had the first one. Plus,
Yeah.
like I said, I feel like I've had so many changes in my life. Yeah, like I don't know if I could do another big one right now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I definitely want kids,
Yeah.
but it's just scary the thought of
Yeah.
actually having a child. Doesn't mean you take a break from what you're doing in life right now to
Yeah.
cater to that. And I see it with you guys as well. Like obviously it's 50-50, right? Like your missus got to have her time, you got to have your time.
Of course.
But usually what happens is the missus has 90% of the time, because most of us men, we go
Yeah.
to work and we just think
Yeah.
we have to work. You know what I mean?
It's
So-
important to help out, man.
Yeah,
It's
so
important. I mean, and
that's what scares me.
that's advice. That's advice.
It doesn't scare me to help out.
Yeah,
It just scares me.
the fact I've got to do anything.
It scares me that I might have to take a break.
Of course.
And I'm really enjoying what I do right now.
Yeah, man. I hear you. And this is advice to myself first and foremost, because I need this advice a lot. Like as men, like you should be trying to help out your wife as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in our situation where our wives have moved away from their families
Yeah, yeah.
to move here. Yeah, we should be trying our very best to like. And this is what Faisal gave me this advice a few weeks ago.
Mm.
And when he said it to me, I was like, yeah, so right, it's so true, man. And I felt myself slipping on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to fix myself up. But yeah, you do have to do that. But again, bro, it's such a blessing from Allah. You will just feel nothing but gratefulness when you're in the situation.
Yeah,
so
I
now
can
now you haven't got it yet. Inshallah, you're going to get it. You're thinking just of the potential negatives and the potential obstacles, potential challenges.
Yeah, yeah.
But when it comes, inshallah, you're just too busy. Like, obviously, there's challenge. We're still too busy enjoying it. You're too busy loving your
It's
child.
like something new to enjoy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And
I see that.
The love you have for your children, inshallah, it just trumps any other obstacle or con. You know what I mean? Or like just a drawback of having a child. It doesn't even come. Your brain doesn't even look at it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like a new chapter of your life has begun, and you're happy about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is, man. But
No,
inshallah,
I definitely get that, man.
Yeah.
I think But then again, I'm new in Dubai, innit? I've only been here like what 9 months now.
Yeah.
So it's like
You
I haven't even-
got an
I haven't
excuse to
even-
chill,
yeah,
to
like,
chill
I
a
haven't
little
settled
bit.
here
Yeah.
yet.
That's
But you
right.
know what? I also say, man, like you just don't plan it. If
Yeah.
it happens, it happens. But yeah, it's just a scary idea. Like I feel like I'm a kid myself sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a bit childish. I'm a bit playful. So I might even beat up my kid and be like, "Why are you crying? I'm playing." You know what I mean? Like, don't tell mom.
Yeah.
I'm like that. You know what I mean? Make them cry
Yeah.
and be like, "Yo, shoot, mom is
Yeah,
coming."
yeah.
So I can imagine, like, I think, but then again, someone else told me the same thing. They said they were similar like that. When a baby came, they matured without even knowing. Not
Yeah,
matured, but just like a bit more, just a bit more thoughtful.
Responsible.
Yeah.
In many ways, that's true, man.
I make myself sound like I'm like 12 years old.
Nah, because I mean, in many ways, I'm still very childish as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But yeah, in some ways, you'll be more responsible, be more mature. But I think it's a good thing to stay a bit childish, man. To be honest.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I hope I can stay a bit childish for longer. Kenan, what do you think, man? Do you think because now you spent like a week and a half at my house, so you kind of got all the experience of like what it's like to live with a child. How has that been for you? Without exposing too much.
Someone asked me this last night, and I said there's never a right time. That's the way I see it.
Right
So,
time for what? Kids? Or?
Yeah, anything in life really.
Yeah, yeah.
Once you're thrown into that deep end, you got to learn to swim, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the way I see things. But if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But I also think,
it's a blessing though.
Yeah,
At the end of the day.
but that, yeah, it's 100% a blessing.
Yeah.
But I also think, like childhood trauma, just like experiences, personal experiences, play a big part in like your choices in life.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the things as well with kids as well. Like I'm like, I really got to think about it. You know what I mean? Even though it's never the right time, and it's one of those things where like you'll figure a way out along the way.
Yeah.
Like you do with all problems in
Yeah.
life. But I'm scared.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
I feel like what you mean by never right time is like you're never really ready, innit?
No, yeah, that's what
You're
I mean.
never-
Yeah,
you're never really ready. Yeah,
I mean,
and that's
there's never a perfect time.
to a point. Yeah, it's very true to a point because you could always talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
You could always say, "Oh, yeah, but my finances isn't quite there. You know, my job isn't quite there.
Yeah.
My wife is, you know, traveling next week. You know, you could always find excuses for you know, why now isn't a good time." But somebody said this to, I think I heard on another podcast, where it was like a brother was talking about the notion of delaying kids. Like, okay, we've got one kid, let's wait like 2-3 years for the next one, or whatever. Or not even that, let's wait 2-3 years to travel before we have our first child, for example. That's quite a common thing. But he said, when you have the first kid or the second kid, you think to yourself, I would give so much to spend to know that I'll have an extra year with this child in life. Let's say, for example, you have a child at 30.
Yeah.
Realistically, you're going to spend, if you live to 70, may Allah give us all long lives full of good deeds. Let's say you live to 70, you're going to have, what's that? I don't know public math. It's 40 years of your kid, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
At that point, you probably give all your money to spend another year with your child, right? If you're 7 years old, you've been diagnosed, you're going to go, you give all your money to spend another year with your child, easily, all day, yeah?
For sure.
And they with you. So from that perspective, doesn't it make more sense to actually hurry up and have kids? Because you would do anything to spend more time with your child, even though you haven't met that child yet. If Allah wills you to have a child, when you get there, you know I'd do anything to spend more time with them, have more time.
Yeah.
So doesn't in that sense, you should probably have kids earlier to have that time.
Yeah.
If Allah's written it for you that way.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense.
That definitely changed my mindset when I heard that, because it's a very common thing to say. It was like, oh yeah, we'll delay it, we'll travel for 3 years, and then you know we're gonna live in Bali and you know that whatever. But then when you think about it, it's like, wow, you're willingly decreasing the time you have with your children.
Yeah.
Hope it wasn't my one, mate. I'm joking. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan, bro. Thank you so much.
How is it?
How's
No,
it?
no, it's nice, man.
Is it nice, yeah?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wish the camera got
it
that.
was not. No,
Nah,
it looks
it's
it.
I don't get it. What about coffee you guys like, man?
That's nice. Bro,
It's so bitter.
Bro, have you had it from Keo yet?
Yeah, I've had it.
You
from
had
Kale,
it.
Yeah,
What drink did you have?
Espresso.
Oh no, that's a hard one to just jump into.
So
Most people don't.
now I have the ice. I tried the ice.
Fine.
Spanish.
Yeah, ice Spanish latte is good.
Go. That's good. But don't get like most people who like coffee can't have an espresso anyway because it's just too strong.
Yeah.
But go for a cappuccino maybe, a flat white or cappuccino.
Or latte. Latte is milky.
Latte, but we're trying to get away from the just like
stuff,
pure
baby
milk stuff. Cappuccino is like a step, one notch above latte. Still quite milky. Try it next time you go.
Okay,
Cappuccino.
so
Try it, inshallah.
Oh, you're back.
How was the conversation?
We were all
Did
right.
you guys manage?
We held our own.
Okay.
Yeah, it was having an interesting
Glad
one.
you're back, bro.
We're gonna do an order for the inner circle.
Yeah.
So we're doing Pepe's
Oh yeah.
now.
Do they have like a,
Pepe's
do
is
they have like a platter
It's
type?
a favourite of Korea. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Because otherwise they've got like 4 different meals, and
That's a good idea.
they should have one.
Okay.
That's actually Dubai. I think they have one. A Pepe's platter, if they have that.
Yeah, because they don't normally have that.
Oh, actually they do. They do that combo like 6, 4
Oh,
family.
they do. Look, Pepe's
Yeah.
platter.
Oh, right, there you go. What's in it?
Okay, so a double platter has a whole chicken and your choice of 2 sides and 2 soft drinks.
Probably not enough for 4
A
pieces.
family
man.
platter is 1 whole chicken, 4 wings, choice of 2 regular sides and 4 soft drinks.
Is that enough, you reckon?
I think so, bro.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Let's not overdo it. That's basically a quarter chicken each and a wing each.
Yeah, that's quite light though, isn't it?
Well, you've got 4 sides as well, yeah? What sides? So you get chips. Maybe just do that like a side of more wings, or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
Another little side. Nando's here for me is exactly the same as London, and the brother we spoke to yesterday said it's actually better here.
You reckon?
Yeah, I can't find a single difference between Nando's.
The chips,
Nando's
nah, it's different, bro. Have it the day before you fly,
Yeah, maybe.
and then go to London and have it, and
Maybe.
and then let me know.
But from my memory, literally it tastes exactly the same. Same for McDonald's. McDonald's tastes exactly the same, neither better nor worse. But I would expect that from McDonald's because they're too big of a company to have any differences in their like recipes or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I don't even like McDonald's, you know.
Don't you? I
Nah.
do sometimes.
I like my little Burger King.
Yeah, I like Burger King. Have you tried Hardee's?
Yeah, I tried
Done it.
Hardee's.
Hardee's is really
But
good.
I had what did I have the other day? It's in JBR.
Shake
What
Shack.
choice of flavour of wings are we going for?
What's that?
What flavour of wings?
Hot.
You want hot?
Get a little bit of a mix. I don't know if everyone.
Yeah, it'd be
I like
nice
hot.
to get mixed, to be honest.
Yeah, get a little mix.
I don't mind hot, but no, we can't get mixed. It's
Oh.
a platter, so you have to choose one. It's weird. It'd be nice if
I
it's
think.
like a roulette
Or
thing,
just
innit?
get medium with sauce to be safe if you want.
I don't mind spicy, to be honest.
Let me go see what everyone else wants. You have to hold the fort again. Sorry.
No worries. We'll hold it down, mate. What are we talking about? Talking about kids.
Yeah, we was talking about. Bro, my memory's so bad. I can't remember where we left off
It's
from.
that personality disorder. Isn't it?
That was funny, man. Yeah.
Damn, what was the?
We were talking about kids. We were talking about like, just having.
We're talking about kids, yeah. But there was something. It was like there was a certain thing we were talking about.
I think you're kind of linking it to just like scary life steps in it. But
Yeah,
do you not feel like the fact you've moved to Dubai has been like you may have like just broken down that sort of fear of just taking a big step in life?
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? I've got so many fears in life, yeah, that I don't know, like I don't want to go too deep in it and make this podcast
course.
seem a bit like depressing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just say it quickly. Hopefully, it's not that depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But-
faster you say it,
Yeah, I'll say it as quick as I can. But my worry has always been, yeah, of losing someone that I love, right?
Right.
And my worry is that, like, if I was to ever have kids,
Yeah, man.
and losing them, like that type of pain, I don't want to experience.
Yeah, man.
And that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine what that'd be like for my parents and for my grandparents, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's one of the fears.
Yeah.
That I'm like, damn, like.
Yeah. May Allah never test us with
I mean,
losing children. I mean, it will be that I can't think of a worse test.
That's what
for
I'm saying,
myself. For
you know what I
myself. But you know what? You can't let that stop you from like all the other blessings that come with it.
No,
and
of
also
course.
and also the principle that we should think good of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So like you should expect and be optimistic about what Allah has written for you.
Yeah.
And not like go into life like thinking, you know, I can't, because really what we're saying is I won't get that amazing blessing
Yeah.
just in case
This
what's
happens.
written for me is like the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It's a bad, and I'm not talking to you because it crosses all our minds.
Yeah, of course.
It's a bad sort of mentality to have because you cut off so many blessings. Like,
No, I agree.
Yeah, when you think about how many blessings a child brings you, like even if you were to die early, Allah forbid, again, may Allah give us all long lives full of good deeds.
I mean,
Your child is there to, inshallah, make dua for you afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It's just one of those things. I think it's one of the fears that I have. But again, like you said, it's like whatever's Allah's plan for you is gonna happen regardless.
exactly, man.
So when it happens, it will happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
It's a balance of thinking good of Allah and also knowing that your qadr is written, even if you're like mad trying to avoid something. If something's written going to happen to you, it's gonna find a way to happen because Allah wrote it to happen.
Yeah.
So the best way to be is just be optimistic in life in general, man.
No, I agree. I
You
think
know?
so. I think it's one of those. It's one of those things that's a huge step in your life because you're
of course.
technically changing your life forever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not a decision you make lightly if you are planning.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's just having you guys around, seeing how kids are in general, it's nice. I think I just need to take that step.
Yeah, and I suppose what you're saying is, because this is how I kind of felt, you're kind of opening yourself up to the ultimate like heartbreak in it, like the ultimate test. It's like, okay, if I don't take that step, that that pretty big test, I'm safe from that at least.
Yeah.
So-
but then again, there's other tests out there.
But again, you think we have to think good of Allah, be optimistic of what Allah has written for us, and make dua obviously for the best. And also, it also brings me to like being pleased with the qadr of Allah, whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause we're talking about like, Allah forbid, like the potential test of losing children.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe, so what I first said is like, you know, being optimistic about thinking good of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, firstly. But also it's like, you know, getting your iman to a point where your sabr is at a stage where you'll be even pleased with what Allah has written for you, even if it's like heartbreaking, backbreaking, heartbreaking stuff like that. Because you know, in everything that Allah decrees, there is good in it. If you respond in the right way to it, there is good in it, and there's a potential for you to earn, inshallah, paradise through that.
Bro, you know, remember when I was here in March and I mashed up my neck?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like 3 days, I was like...
Yeah,
like,
that was on our first episode. You were like, you could barely even look me in the face.
yeah, I went to Cairo's family's for iftar one day, and I thought by now like I was hiding it well, and his family said, "Have you done something to your neck?" I was like, "Oh, I thought I was hiding it." Like, well,
How did you know?
Yeah, how did you know? Yeah, man. When you mash up your neck sleeping,
Yeah.
and it lasts 3 days, it's like that's 3 days. You just think to yourself, I'm not getting these 3 days back.
Yeah.
It's like when you have an ulcer.
Oh, man.
You're just like, okay, the next 5 days, I'm just going to deal with pain
Yeah.
when I eat.
The next 5 days, just like write them off.
Yeah.
They're not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's like when you do actually a neck.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Have you driven with a stiff neck?
might
Mate,
have
blind spots out the window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll be finished.
That would have been a rough one if you couldn't have turned your neck at that
Bro,
point.
today I didn't check my... there was... You know...
What's the law like when you're just like...
Yeah.
You make it work, yeah.
You know, technically, I think the only... You don't have to... It's not fard to do the taslim on both sides.
You could do
the
a
maddest
sound
thing
when it
is,
comes to
yeah.
large.
So
The maddest thing is, yeah, like... It's always that one side, because that one's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Then you get to
Yeah.
the other side, it's like...
Yeah.
It's like locked.
Remember, you guys are telling me like, bro, just move the neck really fast. I was there. And like, we were like eating. Karim, we were out at restaurants, right? And we'd all be eating, just chilling. We were having a conversation, and in the corner of these guys' eyes, you just see me going, "What are you doing? You are." Yeah, I think I've cracked it. It never works.
Yeah. That was...
tough, man.
You having a rough time, man. You
You
having
had a rough
time.
month that month.
Yeah. That was
Alhamdulillah.
And bro, you see how he was sleeping? There was no... That's the reason why he had a neck like
Bro,
that.
you see
It was like
some
a prison cell.
mattress.
It wasn't even an air
No, I was
mattress.
thinking, yeah, exactly.
It was just like cloth with some cotton in there on the floor.
Do you know what? It's nice. Like
Bro, it was so thin.
it was nice. It's 40 quid from IKEA.
Yeah.
And actually, it was really good because when our family came around just now and they stayed here, we gave my in-laws the bed and I slept on that mattress again.
Yeah.
And actually, it's actually comfortable.
You know what? Now that you mention it, when me and my missus moved into a place in South Woodford, like must have been like 4 or 5 years ago now, there was a time where there was like a couple of months where we just didn't have a bed for some reason. Can't remember why. So we basically put down like some what's it called? Like just like those thick blankets, like woolly blankets. Yeah, put like 3 or 4 of those on the floor, on a thinly carpeted floor, and that was the bed, and it was mad comfortable.
It is comfortable. Yeah.
Mad comfortable, like to the point where I was like, oh, we don't even need a bed.
Yeah.
Like, this is nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it fixes your posture. It helps your back, and I've had lower back problems for a while. Didn't really help with that actually, but it was.
Yeah.
It felt
Just a side note, I've had low back problems.
yeah. Since you talk about injuries, but yeah, it is actually good. I wonder if it's actually probably just better to sleep on the floor rather than a mattress, just like a little bit of padding.
Yeah, I wonder
Maybe.
that as well.
Yeah.
I wonder what the perfect pillow is for your neck, because I don't think I've mastered
It
that.
depends on.
I still get some neck pain.
Do you sleep on your side, on your front, or on your back?
I of course sleep on my right side according
Yeah.
to the sunnah.
That's very good, man.
Well,
And
okay.
Where do
that-
you find yourself when you wake up?
I don't know, all sorts, mate.
Yeah, I think I do wake up on my side as well. I don't like sleeping on my back.
Do you know what happened? So, do you know what happened last night, this morning, bro? The funny thing, right? So,
Yeah.
I told you the story already. You know what I'm going to say?
No.
All right, so basically, I just confirmed it now.
Oh, you did, yeah.
So, basically, last night, the four of us, because we're a bunch of lads, and we don't have to listen to the status quo,
No, we don't.
we were out at a coffee shop till about 2 a.m.
Yeah. And coffee shop / burger joint
Yeah.
kind of moved, didn't we?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Don't remember that, do
of
you?
course,
Mate,
of
you
course,
were
of
out of
course,
it, man.
I was out of it. I normally sleep at 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it was completely. I'd never seen. I was just like, I felt out of my brain. I felt my brain not working.
Bro, you were just laughing at this
Bro,
one video on YouTube.
He was
like,
high.
It was the
video.
Yeah.
It was the video where he goes, "How many genders are there?" And he goes, "I don't know. I just got here."
But he was just
Still
laughing,
laughing, yeah.
and then everyone's quiet. He plays the video and just starts cracking up again.
Bro.
I'm like, yeah, Faisal just go to sleep, man.
So listen to this, bro. Yeah. So I woke up. So I came to bed last night at 2:30, and my missus, she goes, I must have woken up, and she goes, "What time is it?" I said 2:30, and I said, "I don't think I could do the morning with the kids." And she's like, "Oh, what?" And then I was like, "Look, in the morning, let me see how I feel." So she's like, "Cool."
Did she actually go like, oh, what?
Yeah. So then, because normally I do the mornings, innit? Like, because we're around, the kids wake up at 5:30. So then, kids woke up, and this is what I remember, and I can't remember how much of it is true, but I just confirmed the story and it's true, right?
Okay, so you do know then.
Yes, now I know, yeah. So what I remember is she woke me up early hours in the morning, and she goes, "Faisal, how do you feel?" Because I said, "I'll let you know how I feel in the morning." She goes, "Faisal, how do you feel?" And I said, and she was like, "What? How do you feel?" And she's like, "How do you feel?" So she couldn't make out what I was saying, but I knew what I was saying. And she was saying, "How do you feel?" And I was saying, "Friendly." Friendly. The weirdest rider. But basically, I remember what was happening in my head. In my head, I was so tired, right? And all I remember is being really tired, knowing that I could hear the kids crying, knowing that, and my wife was asking me how I was feeling. And I felt so tired and frustrated, and like I didn't want to wake up with the kids. But I knew that if I speak at this point, anything I'm going to say is going to be negative, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, I'm tired, leave me alone," stuff like that. So in my tiredness, I thought, let me just say a positive word, the first positive word that comes to mind, so I don't be rude. So she said, "How do you feel?" And I said, "Friendly." I said, "What?" I was like, "I feel friendly." I was that tired, bro.
Oh, and that's
The worst thing is, she didn't even understand what you were saying anyway.
Yeah. I just told her now that I was saying it. She's like,
Is
"What?" Yeah.
that's funny, man.
Yeah.
I could
It worked because I slept in.
It worked. I could literally feel your brain like shutting off last night around like
Same.
1 a.m. You were saying a joke, and then like if I
couldn't finish it,
if I
yeah.
responded to your joke, you were like, "Who?"
Yeah,
Like, you just
I
weren't
was
there,
really
man.
tired, man.
Yeah, you were
I
tired.
peer pressured Kerem into getting a burger at 2 o'clock
Yeah,
in the morning.
that was a
But
mad
when
power
we left
trip.
when we left from your area,
Yeah.
we were driving back, and I was like, "You know what? I really could do with a drink," and I fancied a mojito, like a.
You wanted
like
a Mountain Dew at first.
Yeah, I was like, "Do you know what? Let me level it up." I fancied like a mint mojito,
Yeah.
and then at one point we considered driving to Salt.
Which is
time.
like a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, Kaya was on it.
Hell
I was
no.
like, "Bro, let's not do that."
Who was driving?
Kaya.
Okay,
I was
go
like, "Let's not do that." I was like, "Let's go to Hardy's drive-through. He's around the corner, and I'll get a Mountain Dew." Got to drive-through now, and they had a fresh orange juice. So Kerem and I actually got fresh orange juice. Kaya got hot, spicy chicken wings for us all, strips for us all.
Strips, yeah.
He got 3 strips. There's 3 of us in the car. You do the math. We had a strip each.
Yes. I was really glad it worked out as well like that. 'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
And we drove around, parked. Kaya was actually drive and eat, and I said, "This deserves for us to park." Yeah.
Yeah.
So we parked. We all had a juice. We had some wings, and then I said to Kerem, I don't know how, but I said to Kerem, "You should get a burger." He was like, "Bro, I do not want a burger."
It was like almost 2 a.m.
He
at this
didn't want
point.
a burger. But I said, "Kerem, you're probably hungry, right? Like, because he was hungry about an hour ago. He's like, yeah, but now it's too late for me to eat. If I eat now, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to wake up moody. And I said, Karen, you're on holiday. There's no Hardee's in the UK. And even if there was, it wouldn't be halal. I said, you must eat a burger.
Yeah. He literally spent about 20 minutes peer pressure.
Yeah, I'm peer pressured.
It's getting a burger.
And then basically, it worked. He ended up getting a burger. We parked up again, and he ate the burger. And I said, Karen, why did you get a burger? I said, I was just testing because I haven't peer pressured anyone in
a while.
years. So let me try. See if
we weren't asked what you peer pressured people into before.
Yeah, I was consistent.
You were persistent.
Persistent.
Yeah, and consistent.
And consistent and tired.
And tired.
How was the
peer-pressuring
burger?
so slowly. I was like, you only live once.
You're dropping bars.
When are you next going to be in Dubai? He was like, I don't know. He was answering seriously. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point.
He was like, you're right.
Yeah.
You went home thinking about it the whole night.
I was like, Karim, do we have a Hardee's in UK? No, we don't.
Yeah.
If we did, let's suspend our disbelief for a second. If we had a Hardee's in the UK, would it be halal? No.
There you
The
go.
answer's staring at you in the face, Karim. You need a burger.
Have you ever eaten something that made absolutely no sense at all?
Yeah, bad
Yeah,
times. I can't
that
lie.
was what happened last night.
But
But did it taste good though? Because sometimes they taste good at that moment.
It was just a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But it's Hardee's.
I'll
bro.
be honest, I haven't bought into the hype of Hardee's. I don't love Hardee's. In fact, I love the food in Dubai, but the fast food, Hardee's, KFC,
I don't like it, man.
Yeah, Panda Express has been my number one so far.
okay, that's a good one.
I think fast food here is just not as good, like quality wise.
No, we just
I
ordered Pepe's.
totally
The
disagree.
Pepe's
Man.
different.
I don't know about KFC because I don't even like KFC.
Yeah, fast food. I mean, like the McDonald's, the KFCs, the
For
Burger
me,
Kings.
we spoke about this before. Hardee's is actually better than all the other burger places.
Is
Better than
Hardee's
Burger King.
hard?
Hardee's for me, if you get the right burger, it's the best one.
Really?
Yeah, easily.
I can't do it, man.
But everything
I
else
think I
just
miss Dixie, man.
everything else for me just tastes like the fast food stuff that you find in London. From my memory of like when I used to eat McDonald's in London, like the Big Macs and stuff, when I was a kid. It tastes exactly the same. It doesn't taste any worse, any better. Similar for Burger King, although I haven't had Burger King for ages. Just exactly the same.
Generally speaking, the food in Dubai is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, generally speaking, like, it's just... Even
I think the restaurant stuff is amazing.
restaurant stuff's sick.
Yeah.
Fast food, I
Amazing.
just think it's just not like...
But you're a Dixie man, so
Yeah.
you're comparing everything to Dixie.
Look, in Dubai, I think the good thing about Dubai is that Dubai is leveled up. So you won't see Dixie, I don't think, in Dubai because...
Nah, you will.
We've got jailbird,
like-
what jailbird and
Yeah,
things like
it's
that. Where it's like
pickle, yeah.
pickle,
They
where
need
it's like
Dixie, bro. Like,
you need to try jailbird.
Alien
I
burger.
went the other day, JBR.
Oh, how was it?
I haven't tried
It was
it
nice,
yet.
you know. I had
Yeah.
the bread one where it's like the
The Sando
bun was a
Sando.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, how was that? I
It
tried
was
that.
good. It was good, but it wasn't like
It's not Dixie. It's not pigeon.
yeah.
Yeah, it is chicken.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Like Dixie is like the perfect thing, bro. It's like coming home late, £2 a meal,
Yeah.
six wings and chips.
Is it still £2 a meal these days?
It's like £3, but I'll
Yeah.
pay that. I'll pay
Yeah.
£5. If it's £5,
Yeah.
I'll pay that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I miss like a chippy doner kebab.
You get them here as well.
Bro, there's this banging doner kebab place that's exactly like UK.
Yeah, you get them
It's
here.
called British doner.
Yeah, I've seen them on
We need to
Taliban.
order
bang
that. Why
British
don't we just
doner.
order Pepe's?
Bro,
The next
We've
one,
got-
next episode.
we got time.
Yeah, fine.
Bro,
But
got
you'll
time.
love this burger, bro. British doner kebab. It tastes exactly like UK.
I don't even like the British doner kebabs anyway, man.
No, but this isn't like. It's not like that. It's more like.
Is it a bit better
Like the
than that?
Asian store
Fine.
doner kebab.
Like
Spice hot and
the
stuff
doner,
like that.
like the doner kebab that we would say.
There we go again.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah.
Just to educate.
Just if
just to
you
educate
remember, Kaya's Turkish.
Yeah. Just to educate you, doner kebab is not how you say it. Yeah.
How do you
But-
say it?
Say it.
Doner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doner.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
But it means turn in Turkish. It means turn. Dönmek means to turn. So doner means
that
this
makes
is turn. This thing is turning. Same in Arabic. Shawarma, çevirme means to turn,
Oh.
which is what the thing comes from. That's why it's turning.
Come on, guys, wake up.
Yeah.
Bro,
Guys, listen. Use it, yeah? Use it. Alright? So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it. I think it tastes like really horrible in England.
You know what's amazing about Dubai as well? We bought a stove, right?
Okay.
And in the stove, you get given a shawarma
No way.
stick.
No way.
Yeah, and it turns.
Wow.
You press the button. Did you get that?
Bro, I'm sorry. I'm just remembering something that's cracking me up
You have to tell us.
about doner kebab.
What?
Bro,
This thing is creaking.
Just looks
Bro,
like
let
it's
me-
okay.
Bro, it was in Oxford Street, yeah. And there was this guy, he was on a Segway just going around.
It's not going to be funny at all.
He might not be, but and some kid goes, "You look like a doner kebab on a rotating."
Oh, he's going on in a circle, yeah? That's one of those ones where you got to be there, innit?
Yeah, you have to be
You have to be there to see that.
We're going to let
Kara's literally struggling to get his words out for a very average event.
Yeah, very average event. In London, saying someone looks like a doner kebab is very normal.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put the camera on you guys until it was. They were laughing.
Yeah, that is. I can see why being
Bro, I
there
got
that would be
tears,
funny.
man.
Yeah.
In Oxford Street, where?
Where they do the dancing, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
Where they,
Oh,
like,
right.
I used to work
It's
right
just
there.
the way it was, bro. He was just on a Segway.
Oh, sorry.
turning- Oh, Apple, innit? Sorry,
Yeah.
did I give
Or
it away?
dancer, you don't know.
Yeah. Did you know Faisal used to work in Oxford Street?
Yeah.
Actually, it was
Apple.
just Street I used to work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Off Oxford Street.
Fine.
Yeah.
But you said you didn't work there for long, right?
I worked there for under a year, about
Yeah.
9 months.
Oh,
It was
that's
a
decent.
pretty big company you worked for as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, in that time I was their top salesman.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would do over 20k sales a day.
Really?
Yeah.
A day?
Mashallah. Well, you want? Was it like a commission?
Not like every single day 20k sales, but like
Yeah.
I would do
Did it-
regularly do 20k sales.
Did they give you commission on that?
No.
Oh, that's
You just get the leaderboard. And bro, you show me a leaderboard, I'm going for it.
That's a bit. They should have done that, man. There should be like bonuses built in somehow.
But they get the perks, right? They get the.
They do
like,
give you great perks.
What perks they give you?
Oh, bro, like okay, so
And this is Apple, by the way, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the thing is, you sign a NDA, I think.
Oh,
so
but that's
there's-
gone now. It's like usually like 3 or 4 years on the NDA.
we'll
No?
have to check. But there's some perks that are amazing.
Yeah.
So there was one really good perk
Right.
that
You can't tell me what it is.
He's like, there's one really good perk and it was really good.
Yeah.
Just know
Okay,
that.
essentially what it meant was that I bought my wife a phone for peanuts.
Okay,
Brand new phone. yeah.
fine.
I used like
Oh, so
I
basically
basically
got
put
discounts.
down like I threw everything in the kitchen sink, everything I had, I put it all together and bought my wife a phone for basically like
Fine, I understand.
less than probably what we just paid for Pepe's.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
And yeah, at the time I did not have P, bro. So like it was a flex.
Not surprised they weren't paying you any
She
commission.
now knows
How
that,
you got that?
but at the time,
Yeah.
it was like an £800 phone. Yeah, it was good.
Alhamdulillah, man.
And the way I presented it to her is I like manufactured an argument.
Okay.
How evil is that?
Wow.
Yeah. So like
Dark triad stuff coming through.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna manipulate this. Yeah. I put the phone in my glove compartment.
Okay.
I was in the car with her, and I like manufactured a slight argument.
Fine.
And then so it started getting a bit like heated.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's grabbed me something from the glove compartment. She's like, open it. She's like, what? Okay, that's right. I just wanted the emotions to go
Yeah.
there, so we could go there.
Do you know
In
what?
hindsight, that's a horrible way to do it.
That's mad.
What a horrible way to give someone a gift.
All right. Before I say this story, let me just say I completely disagree with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I regret my.
No. Not what you just said. What you said, I think is okay. Personally.
What you did.
However, I read something on Reddit maybe, where someone said the exact same thing. Maybe it was like an article actually, where they were surprising their significant other with like a present, some sort of present, whatever it was. Yeah. And the way they did it is exactly how you did it. They pretended to forget about the event, right? They let them on all day, just normal day. This is today's normal day. Then they almost started like a little bit of an argument as well, just to make it worse. And then after that, he brings out the surprise and says, "Oh, this is amazing." So he's sort of like he made her think that he had forgotten, but actually he'd planned an amazing surprise for her. Now, what some people started to say is that's abuse.
Look at his face.
And by the way, I totally disagree, Mr. Abuser. I
But
disagree.
you know what, bro? I think that
emotional.
but I think that is too far. Like I couldn't do that just for the pure fact
Yeah.
that I would feel so guilty. Like all day, I just wouldn't be able to hold it in.
Maybe all day is a bit much.
Yeah.
But the fact that he may not have even been all day. I think he's just like he said. So like, let's say, she was coming home at like 6, and like he just pretended to forget for an hour, and then he showed her the surprise. All right.
Yeah.
But they said the mere fact that you led her on to this negative emotion first is abuse. What do you think about that? I personally don't. I personally don't think.
I don't. It depends on the dynamic of the
We're-
relationship. Like you should have.
We're dropping too far into the wokeness there, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, way too far.
Yeah.
Because I can see it. He was just trying to make it seem like you thought I forgot.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think it also
here
depends
is.
on the nature of their relationship. Like if
Playful.
I think it's quite a subjective thing, isn't it?
What are you guys like, bro? Like what are you two like in a relationship?
Yeah. So
Like,
what do
when
you
it
think
comes
about
to,
the
like-
Pepe's anyway?
Yeah.
What am I like? I don't know. What I'm like.
Like when you have a disagreement, right?
Right.
Even if something small,
Yeah.
like what are you like? Are you the type of person that would like be confrontational, and like stand your ground, or
I think all
petty.
men have that in them.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, like the right thing. So I was reflecting on this, right? So one of the benefits of living here in a Muslim land in Dubai is that there's mosques everywhere, and it's very hard to be somewhere without there being a mosque walking distance. And so naturally, alhamdulillah, I've been going to the mosque a lot more.
Alhamdulillah.
And I was pondering upon one benefit of going and praying your salah in the masjid that I'd never got. I like. There's so many things that Allah's commanded of us, and we couldn't count the benefits of these things, bro. Like there's probably so many benefits that we just can't even think. We can't even fathom, right? Like for example, Allah's commanded that we get married, right? And no sex before marriage, right? Example. We could probably list all of the benefits of that, but we probably still haven't even scratched the surface with regards to how many benefits there are in society, for illnesses, for things that are unknown, things that are unseen. We don't even know the benefits in it. So I recently, in my head, unlocked a new benefit for this going to this masjid thing. We know that men should really pray in the masjid for their 5 prayers a day. Yeah? So the other day, I was like, you know, in society nowadays, in psychology and so on and so forth, they say that if you're in, so this is where I'm bringing it back to your point, if you, for example, disagree on an argument, one of the good things to do is to walk away, right? And I was thinking to myself the other day that by going to the mosque like 5 times a day, what you're doing is 5 times a day, you're leaving, and it is commanded for men to go to the mosque, so it's better for women to pray in the home. 5 times a day, you're leaving your environment. You're getting that walk where you're getting that mental headspace. You're going to the masjid where you're getting to worship Allah with other men who you're all in unison worshipping Allah, and then you come back home, right? And I was just thinking to myself the other day that must be so good for your mental health to leave an environment. Like, bro, if you do that 5 times a day, obviously it's not healthy to have arguments every day, 5 times a day. Surely that means that there will be times where it's like things are about to get heated and it's time for the message and you leave. Because every time I leave the house, bro, I come back a different person. And normally better. Because I miss my family, I miss my kids. I come into the house with a new energy. So it's like, look at that benefit. Well, that's a benefit that I've never thought of going to the masjid.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
A new benefit.
There's so many hidden benefits to just like doing the obligations. It sounds like, okay, I can see, like you said, with the whole sex before marriage, you can see the surface level benefits.
The obvious ones,
But when you actually start doing the things that we're commanded to do, there's so many hidden things that sometimes you don't even realize till years later. Like, oh, wow, because I've been doing X thing, I've realized over the last few years that I've been more like this or more like that. And it's like, wow, I didn't even think that was going to be a benefit, but it has been.
Bro, it's like there's a scholar who said that I find that when I indulge in more food, I'm more easily, I sin more, right? But bro, sin, S-I-N.
Oh, sin. I'd say he sings.
But listen to this, bro. Eating food, the asl of it is that it is halal, provided your food is halal. But he said that when I indulge in my one desire, I find that it's easier for me to indulge in other desires. So he even controls how much he eats. Because even if he goes, I'm going to eat till I'm full today, could be passed as halal, just eating.
Yeah.
But by eating to your full, you fully fulfilled the desire of eating.
Yeah.
Now it's easier for him to unlock another desire.
Yeah.
So he says, well, and that's another benefit, bro. Look at how Allah, how the sunnah like explains how to eat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That one meal is enough for one person's food is enough for 2 people. So on and so forth.
You should have 1/3. Your stomach should be 1/3 food, 1/3 water, and 1/3 just left for air.
Yeah, and that's maximum. That's because the Prophet the hadith, I believe it says that eat like a little or something like that, or kama qal. But if you have to eat till you're full, then have 1/3 water, 1/3 food, 1/3 air. That's not like the target.
Yeah.
But then even with unseen, like for example, Allah knows His creations. Allah knows how He's, for example, created even the shaitan. Like Allah knows how He's created the jinn. We don't know all of the knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, this marriage thing, getting married early, getting married young, we might think of all of the benefits of getting married early, getting married young. But what we might not know is, for example, that the shaitan, he wants to break down families, because the breakdown of the family is breakdown of society.
Yes.
So that's why it's even more important to like keep your marriage strong.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about how Allah's created you. Now you got to think about what's the shaitan's goal here. He's trying to break down marriages.
The ummah.
If he successfully breaks down my marriage, that's another marriage closer to him breaking down society. And if society is broken, bro, everything's broken.
Yeah, that's so true, man.
And it starts with the family, which starts with the marriage.
Yeah.
That's why your marriage has to be pure.
Absolutely, man.
But we don't think about these benefits.
And that's another thing where it's like,
No, we don't think about them.
yeah, you don't.
It's education, though, isn't it? Like,
It
where
is.
do you find this information other than as a kid growing up, like your mosque teachers and stuff? Even like a lot of lectures, I feel like is very monotone in the sense of like it's always the same big story, the big benefits. You know what I mean? I haven't seen anything that's like dive into. Like, this is
You know where you get those, bro? You get those when you sit in a class and they teach books. You find the little gems.
Got you.
And I speak often about that one in this. I've spoken so many times in the podcast because I think it perfectly captures this. I spoke about the one where when you go to somebody's house, you should sit. If you see an armchair, don't sit in the armchair because it's probably the chair of the man of the house. It's not something that's written as a rule that you hear in every lecture, but in the depths of certain books about character, you'll find little gems like that. Like, and that's the beauty of people's character.
Yeah.
That's like the beauty of, bro. Every time you man come to my house, it's beautiful because you're like you're waiting even before the porch. Let us know when it's called to come in. That's character. That's Islamic character. You go, bro. You. I remember, bro, when I'm back in the day, bro, when my friends were knocking for me in school times, bro. It's like no. It's Faisal in, bro. One of my friends would come jump the gate, or if the back door doesn't come through the back door. Walk into the yard through the kitchen, grab an apple, bro, start munching it. Because we're comfortable in it. But now in hindsight, how mad is that?
Yeah.
Bro, I remember my mum used to get annoyed. She'd be like, why does he eat my good apples for waitress? Like, he eats my waitress apples. We need to speak to him about that.
Skips past little ones.
Right. Like, so, but look at it's like when you know, but it's only through those deep classes,
Yeah.
bro.
And also hanging out with pious people, man.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, how many lessons have I learned from just hanging out with people who are everyone I meet is more pious than me.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? When you hang out with brothers who are like, mashallah, they're studying, you just pick up these small things, man. Like, something I always, I won't say his name because maybe he won't me to say his name, but there's one brother here that we both know who I was invited to his house as like someone's guest. So he invited somebody to his house and that person invited me and they checked it was okay. But his brother did not know me, did not know who I was, didn't even know my name maybe. Bro, I came to his house, he hugged me like I was a long lost friend.
No
yeah,
way.
he invited me in, he fed me, yeah. And we take it for granted, but feeding your guest, like hugging a guest and feeding your guest and treating them so well is not like a universal thing in the dunya. There's many cultures, and we spoke about this the other day, there's many cultures where it's just not, that's not the thing. A guest can come in, you might offer him a water, you might not, let alone a hug. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, this brother, it felt like I'd known him for years just because of the way he treated me as a guest. And that was just from, may Allah honor him, the piety that he has and the excellence of character that he has. And this happened like over a year ago, and I still think about that, how important that was. And yeah, man, like just spending time with people like that, you learn these little gems, you learn these little new ways to unlock your own character, new ways to level up your own character.
Yeah, we were speaking to a teacher about this the other day. I said to him, is honouring your guests and paying for your guests and stuff, even if you have a little, can that be classed as a sadaqah? Would that come under the ruling of Allah does a person? What is the principle that like a person's wealth doesn't
decrease
decrease?
your wealth.
Your wealth doesn't decrease if you spend for the sake of Allah. Something along the lines of that. I said, does
Charity doesn't decrease wealth. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, does a guest come into your house and you spending on a guest fall under that? And he said, of course. And I said, and he said, what people don't realize about that is that it doesn't mean the numbers won't go down. It doesn't mean you spend £50 on food that you no longer have 50, but it's that you never feel the pinch. He said that's what it means. And I was like, raw, because like now you have no excuse not to honor your guests, because like sometimes you might be like, you know what, bro, I'm a bit down and out, it's a tight month, got guests coming round, let's just maybe like when the guest comes, let's just put tea and biscuits out. Because like if we have to order or we have to cook, it's going to be tough to cook for 6 man or whatever. Bro, that eradicates that, because like you're doing it for Allah's sake. You're like honouring your guests because that's what's commanded of you, and you're not going to feel the pinch. If anything, your wealth might increase.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to know these little gems, because we have to understand that the world is not how we see it. There's a majestic probably bad use word, but like there's a higher being basically that understands the formula of this world. We don't understand the formula. So when we go, if I spend money, I'm going to lose it. That's not always true. But because we don't know the formula, we have to trust that Allah knows from and just follow the commands.
Yeah.
Because 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 how we think it does. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. Sincerity means more than anything. What your intentions mean more than anything. Your like why and where the halalness of your income. So one person could like have £10 and it's halal, and a person could have £100 it's haram, but that £10 that's halal is going to go a lot further than the £100 that's haram. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think that concept of like, you don't know what your actions are going to lead to. You don't know what Allah's written for you. You know what I mean? It's a very... It dictates a lot of people's day-to-day actions, like minute-to-minute actions, where it's like, oh, can't do that because this will happen. And they don't really take into account, no, Islamically you should do this because that's going to bring the barakah. Because Allah is in control of the barakah. Allah is in control of your rizq. Allah is in control of honor, you know? So whenever you go down the correct Islamic path, you know you're covered. Whereas if you go down a different path because you think that's going to lead to something better, you can't really complain when the barakah isn't there. You shouldn't. You shouldn't complain when the barakah isn't there, when you feel down and depressed because of the way your life is going, because you didn't choose the path that the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of everything that is created, Allah created it. He created you, created everything you're trying to get. He created it, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you think that you're going to get there quicker or better by going against what He has commanded.
Man,
it's like,
it's arrogance.
Yeah, don't be surprised, man, when it doesn't. Not only doesn't it work out, but even if it works out, you just don't feel right.
Yeah.
How many people do we know? They've got bare stuff, lots of money, and it's like they're still not quite sitting.
They're
right.
envious of what like someone else has that simple.
Yeah, they're just not sitting right, man.
I think that's the food. Okay, food's here.
Yeah.
So I think this is also a really perfect time to end the episode, rounding up on that beautiful point that you just mentioned, Kaya. What's the timeline saying at top? How long has it been?
1 hour 18 minutes.
18.
That's
nice.
It's a nice one, isn't
episode,
it?
man.
It's a nice round number, isn't it?
Yeah, 1 hour 18.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching episode 278 of Freshly Grounded. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. And
I loved it.
Kaya, welcome to hopefully what's a flourishing future here at Freshly Grounded.
Inshallah.
And thank you for all the time and effort that you've given us.
Jazakallah khairan for having me.
Same to you.
Appreciate it, man.
Kerim.
Yes, thank you, man. I enjoyed
Thank you
it.
for your time.
Thank you.
And by the way, we're going to carry this on now for
The Inner Circle episode will start in a few minutes.
And what I'm going to do, bro, is every Inner Circle episode, I say, got this idea from Cairo. Every episode of Inner Circle, we tell each other a tweet
that we've seen
throughout the week.
Yeah.
It could be funny, it could be just something deep, and it just hit you. It could be like a video or something like that, and then I'll pick one out and you pick one out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So between now and because we're gonna eat now.
Yep.
By the time you've eaten, find that tweet.
I got it in my head already, mate.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
That you found this week.
Didn't find this week. Is that a rule? It has to be this
Where
week.
did you find it on Reddit?
No, yeah, that doesn't have to be.
Yeah, that's fine. I got one in my head.
Where did you find it?
I need to
Reddit?
find one.
On Twitter.
Oh, Twitter.
Oh, Reddit. I'm gonna get so much stuff from Reddit as well.
There's so
But
much on
yeah.
Reddit, yeah.
I got like 4
I
things in
don't
my
even
head.
use Reddit. You know that.
Bro, I can't recommend it, but if you're gonna do social media,
It's the only form of reading I do.
if you're gonna do social media, do it right, innit?
Yeah, exactly. You got
I'm already looking for a tweet. I should stop this. All right, guys, thanks so much. This has been Freshly Grounded. We're back, baby.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but yeah, we are back. Yeah.
I got a great picture of you two, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks,
That's
man.
why I was on my phone.
Yeah, I was actually about to
I saw what you
flip
were
out.
saying.
Yeah.
This table was about to go out
Yeah.
of this room. Yeah.
Sorry, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing that picture. Actually, we need to do for the thumbnails. We need to do pictures as well. No, we're gonna do it probably.
yeah.
Open a picture now and I'll just everyone see your reaction.
What's that?
You sent it, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh.
I sent it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So look.
I think it's actually a great picture.
Have I come out looking alright?
How did you get my number, Karen?
Wait, Faisal found Kerem's number somehow this morning by talking to random people who we haven't even known for more than 12 hours.
Yeah,
Got Kerem's
yeah, so
number
how did you-
just to wake him up.
How did you get your number?
Guys.
Off
JV.
Jibber Jabber, yeah.
Man actually went to JB.
I don't think Faisal's impressed with this picture.
No, sorry. I got none. I'm on WhatsApp now. I'm getting text.
Fine.
Bro, sorry. I have to read this text. Bro, what was the coffee you ordered me from Starbucks on Tuesday? It was the best coffee I've ever had, lol.
Okay. So who's that from?
Shahid.
Okay.
It's the best
I
coffee.
can't even remember. Let's see the picture. That is such a great picture.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, great picture.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, I thought it was like a joke.
Nah, man.
Yeah, it's a
I
beautiful
got you
picture.
both smiling.
Yeah. I'm sitting like a dad.
Is it? Let me is it to me?
I'm sitting like such a
That's
dad. Look at how I'm
Let me
sad.
see. Yeah.
It's a good picture, isn't it?
That's a good picture.
No, but the thumbnail pictures have to be different.
We should, yeah.
No, because the
Centralised
thumbnails mean
it a
like the
bit more.
4K,
Yeah,
like.
I like that. It actually
screenshot.
looks very good, like quality as well.
Yeah, I took it on my iPhone.
All right.
Yeah, shot by iPhone.
Makes sense. I thought you had the Nokia 3210.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Fresh Guarded.
Bye.
We're out.